Greetings, family, friends, and survivors. Well, this main array is the one we're hoping to move. I was hoping to have had it moved by now. But even here close to the solstice, it's performing very, very well. The other two controllers are in float, and this is the only one that's putting anything out right now because the batteries are full. The house is using 36 amps. And this controller just woke up. Loads increased to 42 amps in the house, so Carol's doing something. I think the washer and dryer are going. But all the controllers do what it's supposed to do, and it's putting 4 amps in the batteries. But once those loads equalize a little bit, that goes back down to less than an amp to maintain the batteries because the batteries are full. So they're doing what they're supposed to, and that main array, even though it's not pointed true south, and it's totally the wrong incline, especially for this time of the year, it seems to really be doing what it's supposed to do. That one array will handle the whole house all the way till the sun sets. And so, do I really need to move it? I will pick up about an hour and a half more sun if I move the array out by the chicken coop. An hour and a half more in the winter and almost twice that in the summer. But it's a lot of work to move it, and it just seems to be adequate where it is. And it kind of bothers you when you know you can increase its output by a large percentage. And I don't know what that percentage is, but if I had it 10 degrees west of true south, and at 46-degree angle, our median for our area, then I'm guessing it's going to produce 30 to 40% more power year round. But the thing is, I don't need that much more power. But in the wintertime, if that array could increase even by 30%, it would be worth doing. Now, how much would that reflect on the amount of generator time that we have? I don't know. We don't have a whole lot of generator time to be concerned with, but I suppose any amount would help. But if you're looking at, let's say $50 a year in diesel fuel, and it costs $1,500 to move the array, well, it makes more sense to burn diesel. I will probably move it. I'm collecting the parts and things that we need to get it done. And I think what I need mostly is it's just time. I'm overdue for the injections. Usually they do it every 4 months, and I think I'm probably 8 months from the last injections, and I'm almost to the point where I just can't function. And that's hard, It's hard to be inspired. It's hard to do anything. I have to get up and move, because if I sit in the chair, I'm going to lock up and be in trouble. I kind of use that as an indicator when that old railroad spike right between my shoulder blades, the area where I broke my back 4 times, when that just won't let up, it just doesn't stop, then it's time to get the injections. And it's not affecting my joy, really. It's not affecting me in that way, because the love of God transcends everything that we go through in this life, even extreme pain. There's times when it hurts bad enough that I know my attitude could improve, and that's when it really starts becoming necessary in my heart. Not so much to deal with the pain so I can get more stuff done, but I want to be kind. And sometimes it's hard to be your first response to be kind and compassionate. When you're suffering, it's difficult, but it is possible. But the injections in the back make it easier. So I think for the sake of the people around me, I'll go get them done again. And yeah, they love me anyway, but one of the things that we hate the most about chronic pain is it makes you think about yourself, and I don't want to think about me. I want to be focused on the needs of the people around me. And I found that to be the way of joy and peace. Remember the acronym JOY. Jesus first, then others, and then you. And that is the most fulfilling, exciting, enjoyable life. And when the pain gets to the point where that becomes difficult to maintain, then I think it's time to go let them stick a needle in my back in 6 different places and relieve some of it. I did see the neurosurgeon, and they said, yeah, your back's messed up, but the area that we can fix isn't the area where you're complaining about pain. Well, there's no sense in going in and grinding a bunch of bone in an area where it's not, I'm not hurting anyway, so it looks like injections are the right thing to do. And I think another part of it is it's just, you know, the barometer's dropping, and the atmospheric river has begun, and the storm gate is open, and the barometer's going up and down, and I can feel every tiny little weather change and have for years. When you have metal parts in your body, that you can tell real quick when the weather's changing. And I'm not the only one like that. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. So part of it's winter, it's cold, and I think about Arizona a lot this time of year. I do, I have to admit I do. But I've been in the Pacific Northwest since 1970. I've lived in the mountains since 1970. And there's just something about being able to be at your home and look in a 360-degree view and not see neighbors or people or any evidence that the urban interface, I should say. I don't like being there if I can help it, but I'll go wherever God sends me for sure. But there's a lot of benefits to being in the sticks, and I've seen some property recently in a few different states where you can still get real affordable land, especially if you're off-grid. Truth is, you can buy 10 acres for $150 a month and $1,000 down. There's places like that all over. And like my brother, he's got 50 acres in Texas, and he's been putting together everything that he needs to move there in less than a year. I've been helping him with his solar system. He's going to move his motorhome out there, and the solar system's all put together. It'll be modular. He's already got his septic tank and his water storage system in place, so rain catchment is going to be his #1 concern when he gets there. But I think they get 16, 18 inches of rain a year in the monsoon season. So the other thing is he's thinking about buying a water truck and supplying the other off-gridders in the area. There's no water truck business there, so there's even an employment possibility there for him. And I think the property cost $10,000 or so for 50 acres. And that, you know, yeah, it's 60 miles away from really good jobs. It's a 60-mile commute, maybe a little less. But if you're retired, and my brother's retired, it's a good way to go. So I think about warmer climates, I really do. But I've been a mountain boy a long time, and I love the snow, and I love the high country, and so I probably won't do anything different. I'll just complain for the first month of winter, like some of you do. Got a couple of friends that are in the extreme north, and some in northern Michigan, and one in Minnesota. 2 friends in Minnesota, 3 actually. 2 of them in the far north. And I tell them, you guys are crazy. For them, summer is just 3 months of bad ice fishing. I mean, I don't need that kind of cold. You know, everybody has different things that they face wherever they live, different challenges. And some people really thrive and do well in cities. Some do well in urban environments. And I don't. I just feel kind of trapped. I feel closed in. And haven't lived in that since 1969. So it's worth it to put up with the inclement weather and lower wages and that sort of thing to be able to have a little peace. I mean, we don't even have airliners flying over us. So it's pretty quiet and tranquil. I like that. And I think people behave better when they're not living on top of each other. At any rate, that said, I'm going to let you guys go. If you've watched this long, Lord bless you, and remember, keep looking up.